Welcome to the only weekly Q&A show on YouTube, which also makes it the worst weekly Q&A show on YouTube. Give me your questions. Is the Pizza Planet truck canon in the Jacksfilms lore? It's canon in my heart. For those who are blissfully unaware, I made a YouTube short a while ago called 10 Huge Mistakes in Movies You Probably Missed. And they're not mistakes at all, it's just the same Easter egg in every Pixar movie. And half the comments are like, you idiot, those are Easter eggs. And I wanna be like, oh! Satire really translates very well on TikTok and YouTube. Everyone gets it. Whee! How many phrases were you at first saying ironically, but are now saying unironically? I frequently end sentences with lol when speaking directly to my wife, and she loves it. No, she hates it. Obviously she hates it. Of course she does. Another thing I say to my wife basically every day is, more like Holly weird, am I right? There's an older JackAsk question, I believe, asking what meme do you still love even though it's outdated? And I finally have an answer to that, and it kind of pertains to this. I love Milady. I'm sad that people don't Milady anymore, but if anyone can bring it back. How are we with the wine? I'm in heaven right now. I finally learned to film JackAsk after I work out, which means now I can drink my favorite wine, Sauvignon Blanc. You don't care. G-Heart, what's your honest opinion on your channel's fan base? 5 out of 10, wouldn't fuck. Kidding. I found that people on my subreddit tend to be a bit more critical of my videos. For example, one got a few upvotes saying, the last JackAsk wasn't very funny, where were the jokes? So I feel like I have to make this whole episode a big fat joke-a-thon. Now I can take credit. I can take criticism. My honest opinion of the fan base is that I quite like how encouraging they can be. When I tried out this whole blind series, the feedback was really cool. People were like, wow, Jack doesn't look like he wants to kill himself anymore, which was a big relief to see. But to the one person on Reddit, I'm so sorry, I'll try to make this way funnier, just full of jokes. But lady, can you read me a bedtime story? I can't sleep. Sure. And they made 4 movies and we're all waiting for a 5th. I know. You're a good prop. If only you would stop shitting and farting. It was a Shrek joke if you missed that. Ambrose, who created the cover art for your podcast, also the theme song? The cover art's cool, right? Wood Elf hired the graphic designer that made that awesome cover art, and the theme song was written by moi. I whipped that up on the same night we recorded our first podcast. What's your favorite sport to watch during the Olympics? Personally, it's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Next. Are you refusing to get LASIK eye surgery for the sake of this series? Oh shit. Yeah, if I did get LASIK, I wouldn't be able to make these boards. I'd have to hire my dang wife, and I can't afford her. I don't have a reason for why I haven't gotten LASIK yet, except maybe I'm a little scared at the prospect of having lasers shot into my eyeballs. I know it's safe, mostly. I do hear that the night vision's not great. Is that still the case, or did they fix that? Did they upgrade the software? Is there a patch you can download so that you can like read shit at night? Some fun computer nerd humor for all you techies out there. You know, get geeked. Oh, this is the worst one yet. Oh, I really bazinga'd this one. Only knees for Jacksfilms. Oh, you finally made the board. What up, gamer? How do you feel about all the Twitter accounts being made after you make a joke in a video? I have no idea what you're talking about, only knees for Jacksfilms. It's hilarious. The Yai token leaderboard started off as a joke. Now they have their own freaking website that keeps detailed track of every person who's ever won a Yai token. It's really cool. Shit like this is really cool. I guffaw when I see these accounts. Sometimes chortle. Are there any restaurants you will never eat at? Not really. I like it all. I guess I wouldn't eat at a restaurant that was called Oops All Beats, but thankfully that's not really a restaurant. A restaurant will not get a dime from me if they don't have Sauvignon Blanc. That's not even true, but let's pretend it is. Because remember, this is the joke-a-thon JackAsk. How do you think your friends, or Aaron, would describe you to someone who has never met you before? This sounds like a Yai question. How I wish to be described by my friends and or Aaron. Funny. Handsome, charming, very funny, whimsical, good boy. How I'm actually described by my friends and or Aaron? Loud, basic, pretty chuggy, thinks he's funny, very good at sex. Any questions? Oh yes, we have 5 of them, okay. If you get murdered, who would it be? Probably one of my editors, for asking him to do something impossible. I'm surprised I've lived this long. I'm gonna be like, can you make an explosion pop up here while a clown on a unicycle throws bombs? It's gonna be too much. And they're gonna be like, that would be a fun murder podcast. It could be the new Serial. Like I just disappear one day and the podcast can be all about like theories on what happened to my body. Thoughts on the Steam Deck, the true Nintendo Switch Pro. Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny story about the Steam Deck. Literally the day after I asked the Yai question about the Nintendo Switch OLED edition, which no one gave a shit about. Boom! Steam announces the Steam Deck, and it's like, oh, game over. The Nintendo Switch was just fucking yeeted to the wayside. No one gave a shit. Oh, it has an OLED screen. Bitch, it's the Steam Deck. I think it's awesome. People are already talking about how it's going to be an emulation machine. The developers keep saying anything a PC can run, the Steam Deck can run because it's a PC. Like that, sold. I think it absolutely has potential to be a Switch killer. If nothing else, it will make Nintendo step up their game. And the control, can we talk about the controls? Dual trackpads? That's sexy as fuck. And a gyroscope? Game over. Even I can get victory royales in Fortnite with a setup like that. I'm very passionate about this. It really is the true Nintendo Switch Pro. I really don't care that the screen's not 4K. I don't. Look, I love the Switch, love the Nintendo Switch. I think Nintendo's been resting on their laurels for a bit. Like I said in that Yai, the Nintendo Switch graphics are starting to look a little long in the tooth. So yeah, big fan of the Steam Deck. Where am I? I lost myself for a sec. It's not very often I get that passionate about something. Is there any embarrassing moment you still remember from high school? In high school, I played the French horn for 4 years. Doesn't get more embarrassing than that. I went on a date one time in high school.
Jack, you never went on any dates in high school. I won't stand for the lies.
But...
You didn't.
But...
You didn't.
No.
Don't even.
My wife! So I went on this one date in high school. I did. Took her to see a movie. Couldn't tell you the movie. As we left the theater, I realized to my horror, I lost my cell phone. You know, one of those big chunkers of a cell phone. It was like my emergency phone. So I made my poor date help me look for my phone under all the theater seats. Needless to say, there was no second date. And that woman's name? Michelle Obama. My whole childhood and adolescence was embarrassment. This whole facade, this whole personality that you see before you, this didn't happen until my college years, honestly. Lest we not forget, I played the French horn. Down a row, what's your favorite strange ancient YouTube video? Hamster dance, chocolate rain, no. Lasagna Cat's pretty old. I do love Lasagna Cat. This is where I go into my liked history. I have liked 1,743 videos. So I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Let's get weird with it. There is a pretty viral video titled The Ice Cream Van that has, I think, the greatest punchline. That's 2014. YouTube was still almost 10 years old then, so let's keep going. Oh, the G.I. Joe parodies. They were incredible. Those videos predated YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Colin's Bear animation. That's a classic. Oh, the shreds! Oh my god, all of the shreds! Iron Maiden shreds. Shreds was, and still kind of is, a genre of YouTube poops. Where people would take live concert footage of a famous musician or band, dub over them, and make the band and singers sound like shit. My playlist is full of ancient, strange videos. One of these days I will unearth it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final JackAsk question this week. I know. Well, get over it. Indica or sativa? This is weed, right? Let's fucking rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go. The last time I got high, years ago, a couple of things happened. I thought I was going to die of a heart attack and then go to hell. So I have not gotten high since then for fear that if I try again, I'll think I'll die of a heart attack and then go to hell. That's the funny thing too. I'm very agnostic, so the whole going to hell thing, that's a lot. So you bring the weed, I'll bring the wine. We'll have a good time. We'll just both go on our separate journeys. How's that?
So ask me your questions and I will ignore them, 'cause I'm a jackass, a big fat freaking jackass.
Hey, great questions, everyone. If you want to get on the board, leave your questions in the comments below or tweet them to me with the hashtag JackAsk. New episode of JackAsk every Wednesday. Click here to see the previous episode. Here's a clip. What happened to those 21 Pilots shirts from Hot Topic? I think I still have them. Let's check. I couldn't find them. They're either in a bag somewhere or in a dumpster. I don't remember. RIP those 21 Pilots.